Have you ever felt that your dreams were too far away? That the world was too big and you were just too small to make a difference? Bill Gates once felt the same way. He wasn't born into wealth or power. He didn't have any superpowers or special gifts. But what he did have was a curious mind and a deep love for learning. Even as a child, Bill would spend hours in his small family library, lost in books about science, history, and law. While other kids were outside playing games, he was diving into pages, asking questions, and imagining new ideas. Then one day he saw something that would change his life forever: a computer. It was huge, noisy, and mysterious. But to Bill, it was magic. From that moment, he knew he wanted to be part of the change. This is the beginning of the story of Bill Gates. And as you listen to his story, you'll improve your English too. One sentence, one idea, one inspiring lesson at a time. The story of Bill Gates is not just about business, technology, or money. It's about believing in yourself, even when no one else understands your vision. It's about seeing opportunities where others see limits. And most importantly, it's about learning. Gates didn't wait for the perfect moment. He created it. In this video, we'll explore how a young boy from Seattle, full of curiosity, became one of the most influential people on the planet. From his early fascination with books and computers, to the creation of Microsoft, and finally to his mission to use wealth for good. Through every step of this journey, we'll highlight useful English phrases and vocabulary. Because learning English, like building a global company, takes practice, patience, and passion. Let's walk through the life of Bill Gates. A life that proves one person can change the world, starting with a single idea. Bill Gates was born on October 28, 1955 in Seattle, Washington, into a household that valued learning, discipline, and curiosity. His father, William H. Gates Sr., was a successful lawyer, known for his tall stature and equally towering standards. He believed in integrity and education, pushing his children to work hard and aim high. His mother, Mary Maxwell Gates, was a school teacher who later became a businesswoman and a leader on corporate and nonprofit boards. She was warm, wise, and had a gift for connecting with people, traits that deeply influenced Bill. Even as a young boy, Bill stood out. He wasn't loud or flashy. He was observant, thoughtful, and endlessly curious. He loved asking why the stars moved, why machines worked, why people behaved the way they did. Books became his escape, his playground, his universe. By the time he was 7, he was devouring encyclopedias, biographies, and science books, not because he had to, but because he wanted to. School, however, didn't always match his pace. He was often bored, sometimes rebellious. When a teacher scolded him for not paying attention, Bill calmly responded, "I've already read the book." It wasn't arrogance. It was truth. His mind simply moved faster than the lessons. Recognizing this, his parents made a bold decision. They enrolled him in Lakeside School, a private institution known for academic freedom and encouraging independent thinking. It turned out to be the perfect place. In 1968, something extraordinary happened at Lakeside. The school acquired a computer terminal linked to a mainframe system. At the time, computers were rare, expensive, and intimidating. But for Bill, it was love at first sight. He was fascinated by the idea that he could write code and make the machine respond. Unlike textbooks, the computer was interactive, unpredictable, and endlessly exciting. He began skipping classes, not out of laziness, but because he was busy teaching himself programming. Day after day, he sat in front of the screen, typing, testing, debugging. He made mistakes, but each one taught him something. And in time, he began to build real programs. At the age of 13, he created a simple game of tic-tac-toe, where the user could play against the computer. It may have looked like a child's project, but for Bill, it was a moment of realization that he could build something functional, something meaningful, from scratch. At Lakeside, Bill met Paul Allen, a senior student who shared his love for computers. Paul was quiet, more reserved than Bill, but their minds clicked. They became fast friends, collaborators, and dreamers. Together, they imagined a world where computers weren't just for scientists or businesses, but for everyone. Their friendship would lay the foundation for something far greater in the years to come. But back then, they were just two teenagers in a computer room, playing with possibilities, unaware that their ideas would one day change the world. By the time Bill Gates graduated from high school, he was already a skilled programmer, a deep thinker, and a young man with a growing vision. In 1973, he entered Harvard University, one of the most prestigious schools in the world. His parents were proud, and the future looked set. A degree, a stable career, maybe law like his father. But Bill didn't come to Harvard to follow tradition. He came with questions, ideas, and an unshakable passion for computers. While other students buried themselves in textbooks, Bill spent countless hours in the computer lab, solving problems, experimenting with code, and feeding his obsession. He wasn't the top student in every class. He wasn't chasing grades. He was chasing a future he could feel was coming, even if no one else could see it yet. During this time, his old friend Paul Allen remained in close contact. Paul shared Bill's fascination with computers, and he too believed that something big was on the horizon. Then in 1974, everything changed. A company called MITS released the Altair 8800, the first personal computer kit. It wasn't powerful by today's standards, but to Bill and Paul, it was a spark. They saw the future, not in decades, but now. Paul rushed to show the ad for the Altair to Bill. "This is it," he said. "We've got to move fast." And just like that, a dream turned into action. Bill and Paul contacted MITS and promised to deliver a version of BASIC, a programming language for the Altair. They had no finished product, no Altair machine, nothing but confidence, knowledge, and belief. They worked day and night, writing code, testing it on simulators, solving one problem after another. Finally, they presented their software to MITS. It worked. The company was impressed, and more importantly, it proved to Bill and Paul that they could build real solutions for real machines. In 1975, Bill made the boldest decision of his life. He dropped out of Harvard. To many, it was madness, giving up one of the best educations in the world for a startup dream. But Bill knew this was his path. He and Paul moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico, where MITS was based, and officially started their company, Microsoft. Microcomputer software, shortened to Microsoft, wasn't born in a sleek office with a big team. It started with two young men, a shared vision, and the belief that personal computers could one day be in every home and office. Bill wrote code, met clients, built partnerships. Paul focused on product ideas and technology. They worked long nights, sacrificed comfort, and took every challenge head-on. And slowly, Microsoft began to grow, not because of luck, but because of determination, focus, and an unstoppable passion to change the world through software. Bill Gates' journey didn't end with the creation of Microsoft. In many ways, that was just the beginning. From long nights writing code to leading one of the most powerful companies in the world, Bill never stopped learning, never stopped thinking ahead. But as Microsoft grew, so did his awareness of the world beyond business. He began to see that true success wasn't measured by profits or market share, but by impact. In 2000, alongside his wife Melinda, he started the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, a bold effort to improve lives across the globe. Health, education, equality. These became his new missions. He invested not just money, but time, energy, and belief into solving the world's toughest problems: malaria, clean water, access to education. Bill understood that the same curiosity that once led him to computers could now lead him to global solutions. He approached these challenges like a programmer. Break the problem down, test different paths, and never stop until you find a better way. Through it all, Bill remained grounded. He drove himself to work. He read books every day. He raised his children to understand that money wasn't the goal. Purpose was. He once said, "Don't compare yourself with anyone in this world. If you do so, you are insulting yourself." To him, success was personal. It was about using your unique skills to serve others, to lift people up, to make tomorrow better than today. Even after stepping back from Microsoft, Bill continued to speak to students, entrepreneurs, and dreamers around the world. His message was clear. Start where you are. Use what you have. Keep learning. Because knowledge, when used wisely, can change everything. So, what can we take from his story? First, that it's okay to be different. Second, that curiosity is a gift. Feed it. Third, that big dreams require bold risks. And finally, that the true measure of success is not what you achieve for yourself, but what you do for others. As you finish this journey through Bill Gates' life, remember, you're not just learning English. You're learning how to think bigger, live braver, and leave a legacy, just like Bill did.